What up guys, Eric here from Racing Ram Fam, and this is a size comparison of a GT35 on your left and a 96mm BorgWarner SX400, which is on my Viper truck. So you guys can just literally see the size comparison of these two turbos and how massive this turbo actually is that is in my Viper truck. It's bigger than my head, it's huge, but I thought you guys would like a little bit more in-depth video of how big my turbo is compared to like a normal size turbo. So in this video we're gonna get that new exhaust housing on, we're gonna get that turbo back in, and we're gonna talk about the new fuel system I got, new battery relocation I got, and when the truck's going back on the dyno. So stay tuned, watch the video, hope you like it. Alright guys, so we got all those new fancy clamps on, we got the turbo back in, we got all the oil feed and oil return line hooked back up, the turbo's tightened down so it doesn't move anymore. We got a new exhaust blanket on the exhaust side of the turbo. What we're going to do now is, because we took all the intercooling parts apart, we're going to pressure test it with this guy right here, which is my intercooler pressure tester that I made in a different video if you guys want to check that out. I think I called like intercooler pressure tester making one or something like that. So yeah, we're gonna hook this guy up quick, load her up with air, and then see if we got any leaks, but we should be all good. If that's all good, and then I'll show you guys the fuel system after that, but we're gonna do this quick and then we should be done with putting the exhaust housing on.
Is it supposed to do that?
Oh, it's not supposed to leak. It's all coming out right here. Holy crap. So today is a new day and we got the turbo all in. We got our intercooler pressure tester all hooked up. I had to move a couple clamps around just to make sure that the clamp on the throttle body kept popping off, so I had to kind of scoot that up farther on the throttle body. We got a battery charger hooked up because my battery's dead. So now what we're going to do is turn this air compressor on. I got some soapy bubbles. We're going to spray this baby down and we're going to see if we got no leaks. I'm pretty sure we don't because I just tried it, but I pumped it up to 20 psi. Our plan is only run 10 to 12 psi, whatever gets me to 800 wheel horsepower, so 900 crank horsepower is the plan. And the 5.9's still just chilling over there. If you guys follow and subscribe for that, that will be coming soon. I just want to get the SRT10 done before I start really digging in to my twin turbo 5.9 project. I got to put a fuel system in this and a battery location, and then she'll be all good to go to the dyno and we can start grinding on that 5.9 twin turbo again. But let's get right into this and let's start up in the boost, because right now we're at 0, and we're going to start whipping my air compressor up here, tighten it up, the regulator, to get some air into it. You guys can see we're at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. And throttle body popped off. So now we're gonna have to weld a bead onto the throttle body because I guess it doesn't want to hold on to it. Huh. It was just holding 20 psi fine 5 minutes ago, but I guess not anymore. So let's get that throttle body off and I guess let's weld a bead on it. So to get these throttle bodies off, I'm going to have to take my clamp off. I'm going to try to not take my intercooler piping off because I'm lazy. But I'm going to disconnect the sensor, disconnecting my throttle linkages, and then there's 4 Allen head bolts, and then the throttle body comes right out. Yeah, so let's get right into this. So we got the throttle body out of the truck and on the bench. So now we're going to wipe it down with a little bit of acetone, or a lot of cuts. With a lot of acetone. Around the perimeter where we're going to weld some beads. This is a Venomous 1 racing throttle body, if you guys are wondering. And yes, I am welding beads to it because I want more horsepower than just this gives me. So, $500 throttle body, let's get some beads on you. I mean, they're pretty decent. Remember, this project has been me started welding, so I've came a long way from what it's been. So good enough to hold the clamp, good enough to hold it on. So, all right, I'm gonna clean this up, throw it back on the truck, and we're gonna try air pressure testing. All right, so we got our throttle body back in. You can see my big old tube laying right here. You can see the bead I laid all the way around it. Throttle position sensor's back in, cables are hooked back up, so I'm going to get this tube back on, and we're going to hook up that air compressor back to it and make sure this doesn't pop off again. It is with the band. If you guys want to see this, how thick this is. So when I put this on, I'm going to have to put it on all the way up to the metal to get it behind that bead, which is okay because the rubber goes all the way up to the metal. Good thing I checked that, just to make sure. So let's get this tube back on and let's air pressure test. Alright, we got everything hooked back up. Let's see if we can hold more boost this time. We're going for like 20 PSI. So let's take a look at our little gauge here.
Let's whip this baby up. That's because that's my boost cut. That's why it's freaking out. Okay, we're at 20. Alright, let's go take a look and see if it's hold.
I hear leaks. Let's take soapy water. Alright, she's holding solid, guys, at 20 PSI, so I think it's all good. Just have a tiny leak right here at my waste, or blow-off valve. I was going to say wastegate, it's not a wastegate. My blow-off valve. So we're going to take everything off, but I'm happy. It's holding together. So I think we're going to call this a video for today. Stay tuned, guys, to see the fuel system install, battery relocation, 5.9 twin turbo, of course, and a bunch of other goodies. Just look at that boost. And of course, this thing back on the dyno shooting for 800 wheel horsepower, 900 crank, 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. It'll probably be like 900 foot-pounds of torque at the wheel, somewhere around there. I don't know, 850 foot-pounds torque. I don't know what we're gonna make. We're shooting for 800 wheel, so whatever 800 wheel makes with whatever boost I need, but that's what we're shooting for on 93 octane pump gas. So guys, as always, thank you for watching and keep it boosting. We'll see you guys next time.